What's up guys, it's your boy Corey Lanier here, and I may have a favorite new lens. This is the 35mm Lumix lens, 1.8 aperture, and today I'm going to be using it to do a quick photo shoot with a friend of mine. Her name is Genesis, and I'm going to basically test it out by showing you some pictures and maybe a little bit of footage from this lens and just basically give you my thoughts on it. But so far I can definitely tell you from the little snippets that I've been taking and doing other things like different vlogs and stuff that this may be my new favorite lens. Now for the theme of the shoot, Genesis says she wants to do something a little classy. I think she already has her outfit together. I think she's gonna be wearing a dress, but I need to go inside the Dollar Tree real quick and get a quick prop real quick to kind of bring the look together. So we're also gonna talk about the 35mm lens. Okay, they didn't quite have exactly what I needed, but hopefully what I got will do. I don't know. All right, so when it comes to the 35mm lens, I'm not gonna lie, I was doing some research on this lens and it really seemed like it was dope to use because it seems like it pretty much looks like a 50mm but just wider. You just get more room and a wider angle to be able to play with. I'm actually getting ready to put this 35mm on the camera soon. When I first got this lens, or first heard about this lens, I was like, didn't really think nothing of it because I was like, well, I already have a 50mm, why would I need to have a 35mm? Well, I'll be honest with you, this 35mm is really good. I really bought it because of the cinematic features of just being able to have a 50mm type of look, but with a little bit of width in the screen, so I can actually be able to do videos and stuff too. We're getting ready to go downstairs soon and see how good this lens does with some of the outfits. Finally made it down here to the area that I'm gonna be taking the photos. Huh? Oh yeah, because I was talking to him earlier upstairs. So this is Genesis. She's gonna be the model that I'm taking pictures of today with the 35mm lens, and this should be pretty dope. I mean, you guys already know I'm already a fan of a 50mm and stuff like that. So I really want to see what this 35 been talking about because I've been hearing about it, I've been seeing it. Everybody says this is the one lens you can just use for everything. So we're gonna see. This background really gonna sell the majority of the look anyway. You already know because it's the pool. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have her stand right by this palm tree, somewhere between the palm tree and the pool. And we're gonna start taking some pictures. So let me get my other camera out, get some behind the scenes started, and we're gonna take some photos. Okay, so first off, let me just tell you some quick specs about the 35mm. It's a 35mm lens. I think it's called the Lumix 35mm S. It's in an S series, or it's an L mount, or I believe those are the terms for this lens. It goes down to a 1.8 aperture, which is pretty good. It blurs out the background pretty good, especially if you can get close to something. You can blur out the background the closer you get to your subject. So I do like that about it. And I like the fact that it's a little wider than a 50mm because I plan on shooting some creative films in the future with this camera, with the Lumix S5. I was trying to get a lens that was a little wider than always trying to be so tight with the 50 to do shots, but still be able to blur out the background the way I do with the 50. So it seemed like the 35 was right up that alley. A lot of people were saying that this is their favorite lens. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to decide if this is gonna be my new favorite lens. Okay, so after getting to the pool with Genesis, I basically was just trying to find a place to just take pictures of her. I noticed the outfit she had on would look good in certain areas, so I was really doing some recon. And I was actually getting some behind the scenes with my Lumix G7, which is the good old faithful as you guys know about on this channel, to get behind the scenes, which this camera did a great job still. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna make more videos about this camera in the future, but you guys should definitely get it if you're on a budget and you want a nice camera. But I went ahead and finally put the 35mm on my Lumix S5, and I started taking pictures of Genesis. It was pretty good for me because I like the fact that I don't have to back up really far in order to be able to capture someone's whole body and whole figure. But at the same time, I was able to also blur the background a little bit. Not that much though, not as much as I thought I was gonna be blurring it out, which is when you're doing portraits, you really want the background blurred a lot. You want to see a lot of bokeh. This 35 wasn't giving me as much bokeh as I thought I was going to get. Maybe it'll look different as I'm looking at these photos and editing them later. I'm going to try to post maybe 1 or 2 photos on this YouTube video so you can see what I'm talking about. The rest of the photos that I took with this lens are going to be on my website. The rest of the photos are going to be on my blog because that's where you can really see the high quality, how it actually looks on my website. So if you want to see the pictures that I'm taking in this video, go check out my blog. Link's going to be in the description. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I kind of felt like I expected a little more from the 35 because even when I was showing the pictures to Genesis, she thought they were okay. But when we put the 50mm on the S5, it was just night and day. This lens, this 50mm was just, this 50mm was really crushing the 35. I'm not gonna lie, I almost feel like I don't need the 35 as long as I have the 50 now. but at the same time, video wise, the 50, I just have to back up way too far to shoot videos with this if I'm trying to capture a scene. With the 35, I can at least somewhat capture the scene. It does, in most scenarios, I have enough space for the 35, but most of the time I don't have enough space for the 50. So that's kind of like, if I'm running and gunning, I think I'll probably stick with the 35 because it does blur it a little bit more than just the standard 20 to 60 mil, which is what I have on the camera right now. But the cool thing about the 60 mil is that it's such a wide, I mean, look at this. Like, you guys are less than an arm distance away from me right now, and I'm still capturing a wide shot here in my room. This 20 to 60 mil, I mean, most of the time when I vlog with it, it's just like, it's the perfect lens. I still haven't found a lens that I would rather vlog with besides the 20 to 60, because it's 35. If I use a little Joby pod to put on my camera like I have now, and then I hold the camera out, I can kind of attempt to vlog on this lens, but it still feels tight even in those situations. So you're probably not gonna see me vlogging on a 35 millimeter. I don't think it's really like a vloggable focal length, in my opinion. So all in all, I think what I'm trying to say is the 35 millimeter 1.8 lens for the Lumix S5, it's a pretty okay lens, but I don't see it being like the best, my new favorite lens. I think as of right now, my favorite lens for my Lumix S5, as of right now, when it comes to video, here we go. Let me redo it. These are how I would use these lenses. If I am vlogging and I'm running and gunning, I know I'm going to be making videos where I'm talking to the camera myself and I'm the one operating the camera, then I'm definitely going to use the 20 to 60 millimeter kit lens that comes with the Lumix S5. If I'm going to be shooting other people and I want it to look cinematic and kind of blur out the background, but still get a pretty good size shot for video, then I'm definitely going to use the 35 millimeter for sure, because that's where it kind of stands out. But when it comes to like portraits and I really want to have like a really nice photo with the lenses that I have, I'm definitely going to use the 50 mil. And those are just like what all these three lenses are the best at, in my opinion, so far. I haven't gotten like the 85 millimeter yet. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the king of portraits from what I see. But as of right now, the closest I have to that is the 50, and it's been doing a pretty good job, because even Genesis herself had to say, she saw the difference. She was my client for the day, and she saw the difference herself, and she preferred the 50 over the 35. So 35 and the 50.
35 and 50. Okay. The big difference is the 35 is good, but it doesn't blur out the background, versus the 50. It really gives it that portrait look. So,
it do.
That 50, y'all.
Yeah. So hands down, the 35 still not messing with the 50.
Yeah.
It's not. I was trying to be biased, but it's not. Like,
it's almost given.
I kind of almost knew that, like, because when I was when I went to ATV riding yesterday, I had my 35 millimeter on that camera, and I was taking the photo. Don't get me wrong, like the photos came out great with the 35, but I just kind of was thinking like, damn, if I would have had my 50, it probably would have just been just a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Only thing is, like with a 50, you have to back up more so you can fit the whole thing.
But that's normal though. Get the 50 over the 35, y'all.
Facts. Dang, well, y'all heard it from my actual client. That's what she said. Sometimes what the clients feels and what they see is a little bit more important than what your judgment is as a photographer or as a professional. Sometimes if the client just wants a certain look, regardless of how you have to give them that look, just give it to them. If they're satisfied, then you both win. So yeah, that's my quick review on the 35 millimeter. I've actually already been using this lens a few times. I shot a little bit of a video with it when I went ATV riding like a day or two ago with my sister and brother, and I was just really kind of experimenting with it just to see what this lens is really the best at. And I think I'm probably going to use it for like whenever I like maybe shoot little like creative things, like scripted series type things where they're planned out and I know I have time to adjust. That's when I'll use my 35 millimeter for those videos. But if I'm like running and gunning and you know, I just want to be able to have a lens that does it all for me and I don't have to worry about anything, then I'm for sure sticking with the one I have right now as I'm creating this video for you guys right now. The 20 to 60 millimeter lens is more than enough, and it does have bokeh as well. I mean, a lot of people sleep on this lens, but it has a little bit of bokeh itself. So, but yeah, that's just my take. I wanted to show you guys that I finally got a new lens, you know, and maybe I'll find more of a use for it in the future with different videos and stuff like that. But hopefully you guys learned something from this video and maybe you took something from it. And I'll see you guys later on in the next video. Peace.